Right, we're getting a few people in. Oh, whoops. So, okay, we're getting a good few people in. Right, so I figured I might better start. So, welcome everyone to episode 2 of my Instagram Live interviews. This time, I'm interviewing the community assistant of Wikitreers, or Wikitree, Sarah Callis. So I will invite her in.
Hello.
Okay.
I don't
Connecting.
know if I guess I have a hello everybody. It seems like Daniel's loading. It's here and not here. I don't know if I'm here.
Okay, we're connecting. I think I'll try sending that again. I don't think that went through. Let's try it again. And here we are.
Okay. I wasn't sure. It
Hello.
seemed like it was loading before. I didn't know what was going
No, we got there. That's the main thing.
on.
So,
Okay.
welcome, Sarah.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
So, I think we better start off with, a bit of an introduction. So, why don't you
Okay.
introduce yourself to everyone?
Well, I guess Daniel kind of introduced me. My name is Sarah. I work for Wikitree as a community assistant. I do mostly their social media stuff. I started genealogy about 10 years ago when I was 18-ish. So I started young. I mean, as you probably know, Daniel, like we're considered young in the genealogy. It's a old
Oh, yeah.
person usually, yeah. So we bring down the average, I guess. Um, I don't know anything else. I mean, I live in Florida in the United States. I don't know if anybody else has any questions about me in general, but that's basically me.
Absolutely. And to anyone who's watching, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, put them in the questions section, and I'll ask Sarah them at the end. So, I think I better get going. So,
Yeah.
how did you get into it? Because obviously, I know you kind of said that you had been doing it for about 10 years now. So, what kind of sparked it all off for you?
So my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, she had extensively researched her family and also her husband's family, who had passed, I'd never met him, but she did his family, and so she had all these books and all this research that she's done. And I just slowly took home book after book, and she had all these records. She didn't throw anything away, so that's just kind of what got me started with genealogy. So yeah, my grandmother.
Right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because typically that is how it starts. Because with myself, I got started in genealogy after a funeral. So it was just a case of not knowing, because as some people might know, so like when you go to a funeral, you're not sure who some people are. And some people go like, oh, that's your aunt there or something, or a great aunt, or second cousin twice removed or something. And you're kind of thinking, okay, but how would they fit in? And then that's how you kind of start. And that's how it was for me. So,
and it's funny because my parents don't have any interest in genealogy at all. It was my grandmother. No, it's okay.
So, what projects are you currently pursuing in your genealogy journey, or are you kind of tied up with Wikitree at the moment?
It's pretty much it's all It's WikiTree, basically, my big project right now.
I can imagine. So, when you were
Which I need to
researching,
pick back up.
oh,
Um,
I don't know if this is me or not. Yeah, I think we're back again.
okay.
So, what resources have you found like helpful in your research? Because obviously, you will come across many resources, like from electoral rolls to birth certificates.
I don't know. They all have their. I think every resource is valuable depending on what information you're looking for. Um, I mean, obviously, birth and death are very helpful.
Yeah.
Marriage, like my mother's side, which kind of I guess answers part of PJ's question. She was born in Guatemala, and a lot of her family is in Guatemala, and their marriage and birth records. There are these long descriptions of like, oh, this is like they list like the parents, the grandparents, and sometimes the great grandparents, and these records they just like kind of write it out. So those have also been very good. I like those. So I guess it just depends
Absolutely.
on what you're looking for, the resource.
Now, obviously, like I've said many times, like the fact that you've been doing it for 10 years, you'll have picked it, you'll be quite adept by now, obviously.
Mhm.
So, is there anything that you know now that you kind of thought, oh, I really wish I knew that when I started out because it would have helped me so much at the start?
I think just, I mean, it's funny because I kind of watched your interview with PJ for the most part last time, and he said the sources, like writing down what you found and how you found it, and keeping track of that because then you realize later when you're researching the same ancestor, like you're like, oh, did I search this repository already or not? Like you don't know like where you got the information from. So writing that down, like keeping a search log or a research log, and so you know where you've been, so you don't trace your steps, so you're not wasting your time. So I think that's the biggest thing, writing stuff down where I got stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I now
Mm-hmm.
I mind you, I haven't gotten much time in for genealogy recently, but I hope to, and I will
Mm-hmm.
try and start doing that now. So, what aspect of genealogy would you like the most? Which, ironically, is actually one of the questions we have
One of the
now.
questions, yeah. Yeah. So I think my favorite part is just, I guess, putting together the puzzle pieces, like finding a mystery and figuring it out, and then using the sources to put together the puzzle. I really like that aspect of genealogy. Also, finding out my ancestors, where I came from, and everything. But I really like the puzzle of putting it all together. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, what now? Again, if you want to share it, that's more. If you don't want to share it, that's fine. What would be an interesting story or an event that has happened in your family history?
So it's actually my paternal. I think it's my great great grandfather. He was in the Civil War, so I think it's more greats. I can never remember how many greats. And he was on the losing side of the Civil War.
Uh,
And there's actually a documented, there's a book written by one of the generals about that specific unit he was in, as to like it was like the reasons why they lost the war. And my ancestor was listed in there as they said they had these like funny tidbits about him.
uh,
Um, and it was like because he was one of the reasons. Well, I don't know, one of the reasons why they lost the war. And they called him brave as Caesar, and like how he had caught measles and he lost his mind and stuff like that. So just funny.
wow.
So just finding him mentioned in a book like that was pretty cool. So that
Wow.
was a
That
and
That's definitely interesting. Well, like I
and then
don't think I've
and
found
it's
anything. I don't think I found anything near as interesting compared. But
Mhm.
obviously, it depends on so like where your ancestors came from.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah, that's
and
that.
backgrounds also depend as well.
Mhm. Yeah, that same
So,
ancestor. He actually ended up. So he lost his mind. He actually ended up. He didn't die in the war. He ended up getting shot in town by somebody. It's not funny, but it's just ironic how like he was in this war and he caught measles and he survived, but then later on in life he was randomly shot in the middle of the road.
wow,
So funny how life works out like that.
dearie me. So what? So obviously, genealogy can mean something. For some, it can mean their profession, their livelihood, and to some, it can mean their hobby. For the
Mm-hmm.
past 3 years, e.g., me. Uh, so, what does genealogy mean to you?
Definitely started out as a hobby. Now, I work for WikiTree, but I'm not like researching it as a job. I do hope to have it more as a career. It's hard to make genealogy a career though. Usually it's like a side thing, but I guess I see genealogy as just it is fun. I enjoy it. I guess I see it as a hobby, something to pass the time, to work on. So
Right. And now, obviously, you're, the community assistant of WikiTree. You joined a year ago. Uh, what's it been like? Because it must be interesting to hear from someone that's inside the corporation.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess I wouldn't call us a corporation. There's we're
I
there's
literally
only
wrote these questions
six.
down a few minutes ago, so I was
It's fine. It's fine.
I was trying to think of a
Um,
lingo.
no, I mean, it's a hard. There's six, seven of us that actually work for WikiTree. Everybody else is volunteers. So WikiTree is very volunteer based. And actually, I think it's been 2 years since I've been working with WikiTree. 1.5. I started in March of maybe 1 year. I don't know, but I've enjoyed it a lot. I've
I
learned a
guess
lot.
genealogy does do that
Um,
to you, doesn't it?
I know. I don't know. Um, and just working with because I was very involved before because I was like a leader. I don't know if you haven't joined WikiTree yet, which you need to,
Oh, I have. I have.
Daniel.
I haven't used it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I haven't
You
used
haven't
it that much.
started your tree. Okay. So I was very involved with the community on WikiTree before they actually took me on. Um, but I really enjoy it. I recommend anybody who's interested in genealogy. Now, WikiTree is not for everyone because we're a collaborative website. We're sharing our profiles, but we are free and it's just a really great community of people working together to create a single family tree, a well sourced,
Yeah,
accurate family tree.
but no. So like when you kind of said I joined Wikitree, I had, and there's obviously I go by my little alias on there. I go by my full name, and and only a few people know my full name, and I think it was Hillary.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I think it was Hillary. So
Hillary
like she kind of.
Gadsby. Hillary Gadsby.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, and she kind of noticed. Oh, there you are, because she kind of thought,
There
okay,
you are.
you look familiar. I know you, and yeah, I have been ratted out a few times. You could say, but I mean,
No,
it's gonna happen.
yeah, there's no hiding. There's no hiding from me.
No, no, there isn't. So
No.
obviously, you would have gotten to know WikiTree an awful lot. So I think I know the answer to this, but I figured I'd ask it anyway.
You kind of broke up there. What was
Oh
the
yeah.
question?
So obviously you've been with WikiTree for a good bit now. So, what would be your favorite part about it?
I would say the community, really. Everybody. Um, I love talking to people about WikiTree. I love all of our WikiTreeers. Like today, I met like on it because we had our live cast earlier a few hours ago, and I met somebody. Well, I didn't meet them. I just emailed them back and forth. I met them and chat all the time. So we're always talking to each other. We're a big family. So I think our community is my favorite part of WikiTree, sincerely. So
I can imagine. Now, again, WikiTree is an ever-growing name with many genealogists starting out and being experienced. So
mm-hmm.
obviously, I can imagine it's going to keep growing. But where would you think WikiTree would go in the future?
Ooh. So right now our goal is to really get our name out there with more professional genealogists, and why aren't they mentioning WikiTree as a place to go? So that's really been our goal, and to get our name out there with professional genealogists, and that's what I've been doing because I'm in charge of all the social media for WikiTree. So that's also what I've been doing, kind of been active, and then also because Roots Tech is virtual this year,
Yes.
so I am trying to get, I am strategically planning, trying to get some professional genealogists to talk to me about WikiTree, talk to them about them, get more people like you on WikiTree, using WikiTree, who are active in the social world. So that's, we want to get more traffic in, more talk about WikiTree in the genealogy world. So
Oh, absolutely. Like, and it's a
mm-hmm.
great resource to someone who, let's say, you know, like me, mightn't be able to, afford like subscriptions or something to like sites, but they still want to work on their tree and they still want to collaborate with others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think personally, but I really need to start using it when I can, is it seems like an absolutely fantastic resource to have in your roster when researching it. And I can only imagine that it's keep, growing and growing and growing until it becomes like a worldwide thing and everyone knows the name.
Yeah, yeah, we are always evolving,
So,
ever
oh yeah.
changing WikiTree. So
Okay, a comment just came in. Penny's family history, perhaps a breakout room at Roots Tech.
so so when we're physically at Roots Tech, we do have a booth. Um, we will. We're not doing anything official Roots. Like we're not going to have like an official booth at Roots Tech, but I do plan on having live streams during Roots Tech, trying to get other, uh, maybe get speakers who are talking at Roots Tech to come on and interview and stuff. But we always, when we're physically there, we always have a booth. We've been going since the start of Roots Tech. I was kind of upset that Roots Tech wasn't going, because I've been to Salt Lake City. I've been twice so far, so this is my third year. So I would have been, I was kind of sad. But this also gives another opportunity for us, since it's virtual and we're a virtual site. Everything we do is virtual. So um, we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. And obviously, because it's not really a hop, skip, and a jump for me to Salt Lake City, it's convenient for me in the fact that it's virtual, which I'd signed
And
up
it's
for.
free, and it's free this year.
Absolutely. I signed up for it the minute it was announced. I don't think I waited or hesitated even to like sign up. It's like, yes, I'll be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you can go to the London one. That's like closer for you. Go to the Roots Tech
Maybe,
London.
maybe. We never know.
I wanted to go to that one, but it's far away for me to go to London.
So if anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask Sarah now, because ironically I am out. Oh, no, I'm not. I have one left. So while I'm doing this one, please ask. So I don't know why I'm not like as organized as other weeks. Last week, I don't know why. Anyway, so the last question I have, and if anyone else wants to ask any, please do. What advice would you give to anyone starting out?
Start. So it can be, which I can say, it's really exciting to just dive in and go really, really fast, and just keep researching. So I would take it slow. Also, talk to any living relatives that you have now as soon as possible. Get your oldest living relatives and talk to them. I would tape record them. I only had one grandparent growing up, so I only had her, but luckily she did a lot of research. But take it slow, one step at a time. The information's not going anywhere, and talk to your relatives. So I think that's my biggest tips for people starting off.
Oh, definitely. Because it can be sort of the easiest thing, to say to someone, oh, if you do this, this, and this, it's a great way of starting out. And it'll be different for everyone. Mm-hmm. There's maybe some obvious ones, but for every individual, there may be one thing that they might say that someone else mightn't. So we have two questions. One from Oracle Genealogy. Do you have a favorite archive?
I don't think I necessarily have a favorite one. I usually try to everywhere. I think I was talking about the records from Guatemala. So much about the birth and who's related to them. I think that's my favorite type of record archive, I guess. Are you there, Daniel? I don't know if it's me or you.
The wiki tree.
Biggest tip for getting to WikiTree has a learn. So it does take. So I would just take it slow. And we have tutorials on WikiTree. Have great. You can always ask questions. Write bios for your ancestors. You can just put in the information, start growing your tree. It's not mandatory to write bios. I'm really bad. I haven't written bios for most of my ancestors. Sometimes I list a timeline or just basic stuff, but I would at least put sources in the bio because for the sources they're in the bio part of the profile. But I think asking questions, just taking one step at a time, just start getting on WikiTree and slowly adding your ancestors. I think that's the best tip from me for somebody who wants to start on WikiTree.
Well, I'll be taking that tip because, again, like I said, I literally just signed up, did my profile a little bit, and then signed out, and then did other things that I needed to do. So I will definitely take that advice for when I'm starting out. So I think I might wrap it up there. So thank you, Sarah, for coming along.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
I will be a bit more composed next week. I do promise that.
That's how I usually do. I usually wing my stuff. I just kind of go with the flow. I never have a script for my live streams.
Anyway, thanks for coming along again. And
Yeah.
I will hopefully be and to those watching, I will hopefully be announcing my next guest, hopefully tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for coming, everyone, and goodbye.
Bye.